What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick'em plays for Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with the promo code DAILYDOG. That's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. Get that 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. That is the biggest deposit match bonus out there. You're not going to beat that on any other show. So if you got a friend who's new to Underdog, you're trying to get them involved in the pick'em space, maybe they're coming over from prop bets and making all those crazy parlays. There are some distinct advantages to doing it on Underdog instead of doing it at a sports book. One of which is injury protection. It's called a rescue. If you lose a slip because one of your guys that you have a higher pick in, if he goes down in the first half and doesn't return in the second half, you'll get a refund on that pick, and you will get a free square the next day with like a max of $10 that you can just try to use to make some bankroll builder. So you don't get that at the sports books. That is for dang sure. I kind of wished some of the guys I had on my slips yesterday would have got injured. I'm joking. You never root for people to get hurt, but man, we were so close for a couple things yesterday. The NBA slip yesterday was absolutely frustrating. My goodness, RJ Barrett had 1.5 3-points made like 2 minutes into that game. He crushed that immediately. Jalen Duren was at, I think, 7 rebounds by halftime, and then like 3 minutes into the second half, he was over 10.5, and he had 17, 20, something like that by the end of that game. But Damian Lillard, 0 for 6 from 3. There was some rust there. I think it's my fault. I shouldn't have taken him coming back from the injured concussion, or the concussion time missed, but yeah, that's just frustrating, man, because Damian Lillard's obviously a good shooter, and he was 0 for 6 from 3, and we needed 4 3-pointers, so not exactly ideal. That killed it. And then the hockey one, Draisaitl didn't get a goal. The Oilers didn't score a goal on the Canadiens. The Canadiens are bottom 2 in the league in goals allowed average, and they shut out the Oilers. But Matt Duchene did his job. He got a goal. He got his point. And then Travis Konechny of the Flyers, he also got his point. So good for those dudes. But man, dang it, Draisaitl, get a goal next time. Come on, that stunk because the NBA and the NHL slip both were so close. I'm going to say that the Monday Night Football slip was not even close. Man, Cooper Rush lower than 180.5 passing yards. He was pushing that in the first half. I totally missed that. I did not think that he was going to be able to pass so easily against this front for the Texans. I thought the front for the Texans was going to limit his ability to pass. They did get a lot of sacks and a lot of pressure, but he was able to get the ball out quickly. Good on Cooper Rush. Sorry for fading you, brother, and that's why I don't like to take lowers in Underdog. I feel like if anybody wants to have a career day, then I'll just put them on my slip as a lower, and then they're going to go off like Cooper Rush did yesterday. But enough about yesterday. We got plenty of slips to get through today. We got 4 slips to get through today. I'm wasting too much time talking about the past. We got to go to the future. Let's go a couple days to the future. Let's go to Thursday Night Football. Just a couple things early in the week jump off the board to me. You're getting a higher multiplier for Russell Wilson to have higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. You're always going to get that. This Browns team, they're going to get up for the Steelers to an extent, but how high can they even get up? This team stinks. The Steelers are better than the Ravens right now. I know that people aren't going to want to admit that from a pure power rating standpoint or whatever. But if you're expecting that the Ravens or the Steelers are going to have a performance in Cleveland like the Ravens did a couple weeks back when they lost as big road favorites, I think you're in for a surprise. I think the Steelers' offense is actually more balanced than the Ravens somehow. Because maybe, I don't know, like statistically, it probably doesn't back it up, but I think just maybe as a passer, Russell Wilson might be just a little bit more of a pure passer than Lamar Jackson, obviously, as far as running the ball and doing, and when the play breaks down, he's nowhere near the athlete, and he can't move the way Lamar Jackson can. But as far as pure passer goes, in passing situations, I don't know, you probably want Russell Wilson's arm, that moon ball that's catching the nation by storm. So I'm taking Russell Wilson higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I just think that this is way too high of a multiplier. It's like 1.17x or something like that. It's going to go down. You just got it. He's going to throw a touchdown in this game, probably 2. Look out for Freiermuth. Look out for George Pickens. And then also I'm going to take Jameis Winston higher than half an interception. He actually was kind of on fire against the Saints last week. Jameis is hard not to root for. I love Jameis Winston. The dude seems to have a good attitude. He's had an up and down career. He was the 30-30 passer who had 30 touchdown passes and 30 interceptions. He's not really thrown as many interceptions this year, but the Steelers just have a way of getting guys under duress and make them making bad choices with their throws. So give me Jameis Winston to have higher than half of an interception in this Thursday Night Football game. Last one, we're going to have George Pickens higher than 4.5 receptions. He is target 1A and 1B for Russell Wilson. Obviously, Mike Williams is there. He's getting more integrated in the offense. Freiermuth, has his role underneath. Najee Harris gets maybe 1 to 2 passes a game, and then Jaylen Warren has a little role as well out of the backfield. But man, Calvin Austin, he ain't it as far as a wide receiver goes. Mike Williams, like I said, there's going to be a role for him, but George Pickens can get 4.5 receptions in this game, no problem. Russell Wilson is looking at him first and second before he goes to someone else on most pass plays. So this number is actually a little bit low. I like George Pickens a lot to get higher than 4.5 receptions in this game. This is a nice juicy one to start our Thursday Night Football. It slips off with 7.34x, so let's get this one home. All right, let's keep on going to NBA. My God, I'm so mad at NBA yesterday because the first 2 picks of the slip were so easy, and the last one just was pain. But again, we're going back to the well. We're going back to some players that we have been focused on the last few weeks, and we're going to keep on doing what works. First one, though, is a guy that we haven't used this season yet, I don't think, in Darius Garland. I'm taking higher than 7.5 assists at the Celtics. He's a great distributor. 2, there's a guy named Donovan Mitchell who's really hot right now. He can go for 40 in any game. Give me Darius Garland higher than 7.5 assists in this game. He's going to distribute to Mobley. He's going to distribute to Jared Allen. He's going to distribute to Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland definitely have higher than 7.5 assists in this game if the Cavaliers are going to compete, and I do think they'll be able to compete a little bit with the Celtics here. They're just on a roll right now. I think they've got a lot of momentum. I don't know if they're going to win. Maybe this is their first loss of the year, but I think they can compete, and I think that them competing includes Darius Garland distributing and guys making shots after catching and shooting. All right, we're going to go to Lauri Markkanen of the Jazz, lower than 20.5 points against the Lakers. Markkanen is just not really that hot of a scorer since he's been back from his injury break there. Not saying that he's a bad player, not saying that he's not capable of getting 21 points in a game. I'm just saying that it's not really been there since he's been back. I mean, I want to just pull up a game log. I had it a second ago, but I just want to pull it back up again. So since he's been back from his injury, he's had 8 points, 20 points, 17 points, 13 points, 25 points, and 18 points. So he's gone higher than 20.5 once, and that was at Sacramento. Sacramento is a team that plays a lot of high total games. I think the Lakers are going to be much slower. I think that there's going to be a lot more congestion down low. And again, I think there's going to be defenders in his face from the outside. I'm just going to keep on riding the lower on Lauri Markkanen because this number's not low enough yet. I mean, he's averaging 17.3 points a game. And I don't think he's going to get 21 against the Lakers and the late night show there. All right, next one is going to be, oh God, I just clicked on yesterday's NBA slip. I don't want to see that again. All right, next one is going to be Chris Paul higher than 7.5 assists. Wembanyama needs to play in this game for this to happen. As of now, I believe Wembanyama is playing. If Wembanyama doesn't play, look at Chris Paul's points higher than like 11.5 immediately. He'll shoot more if Wembanyama's not there. If Wembanyama is playing, he's going to distribute it. And Chris Paul has been crushing 7.5 assists most games this season. So give me Chris Paul in kind of a high-profile game against the Thunder. All right, so the NBA slip, Darius Garland higher than 7.5 assists, Lauri Markkanen lower than 20.5 points, and Chris Paul higher than 7.5 assists, 8x multiplier. NHL, Leon Draisaitl higher than half a goal. He crushed us yesterday. He killed our slip yesterday. We're going back to the well. They're not going to get shut out 2 days in a row. I believe it. They're not going to get shut out 2 days in a row. Come on, Oilers, and come on, Draisaitl. Troy Terry higher than half a point. He had a point yesterday, I think, and there was an upset for the Ducks yesterday against the Stars in a spot where they were being extremely disrespected. I think the Stars were like minus 425 moneyline favorites, which is kind of ridiculous for a regular season NFL or NHL game, but that's neither here nor there. I just don't think the Blackhawks are that good defensively and in goaltending, so give me Troy Terry higher than half a point. Then Jake Guentzel returning to Pittsburgh, higher than half a point in a little bit of a revenge spot. 5.31x multiplier in NHL. I got to get that MACTION slip in. Can't forget the MACTION. Chrishon McCray higher than half of a rushing plus receiving touchdown for Kent State as they host Akron. Maybe they'll get their first win of the year here. I mean, this is a spot to do it if they're going to get it. And if they do win, Chrishon McCray is going to score a touchdown. Hayden Wolff of Western Michigan, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns against Central Michigan. Rivalry game. Hayden Wolff is definitely capable of hitting these numbers. I think he's going to do it here. Last one, Brett Gabbert, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns against Northern Illinois. Big time MAC game with Miami, Ohio versus Northern Illinois. Brett Gabbert has been in college for about 15 years. One of his last chances to run it up against a team like Northern Illinois. I don't know if they will run it up. It's probably going to be a fairly competitive game, but I do think he's definitely capable of higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. This dude is capable of going crazy in spots. So 7.44x multiplier. That's all I got for you today. Let's make some money.